Revit Mep 2022 Tutorial 14. Hello everyone, I am Gangadhar, a BIM manager. This is the next tutorial on Revit. Please support and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Here in this video, let's continue our discussion about our view. This time around, we are going to talk about creating and modifying our 3D views. This lesson describes how to create and modify 3D views. We will be learning about the 3D view types and cameras. After that, we are going to learn the steps to create and modify camera views and some recommended practices for creating and modifying our 3D views. What will be the definition of our 3D view? A 3D view shows the building model from a point of view using a camera. So we will be using a camera. Later on, the camera tool can be found here on our 3 drop down. You can see there the camera. You can position the camera anywhere and create a 3D view of the model. The direction of the camera is determined by position the view target, and we can also increase or decrease the angle of view of the camera by adjusting the side clipping boundaries of the camera. There are two types of camera views. We have the perspective view and the orthographic view. First of all, what is the perspective view? Perspective view displays the 3D view of an object as it appears through a lens from an eye or camera position. In the perspective view, objects that are far from the camera appears smaller than objects of similar size that are closer to the camera, while the orthographic view displays the 3D view open object from or camera position such that each point in the view is perpendicular to the viewing plane. So, in an orthographic view, objects that are far from the camera are the same size as objects of similar size, that they are closer to the camera. It is opposite of the perspective view. Let us create our camera. What we are going to do, let's create first our perspective view, and after that we are going to create our orthographic view. I am going to go ahead and select the drop down arrow here to select the camera, and after that, as you can see here on our options bar, we have an option. If you want to create a perspective view or orthographic view, if this is unchecked, that will going to be an orthographic view. If this is checked, you can see that it's a perspective view. And aside from that, for the perspective, as you can see, the scale here is disabled, so you will not be able to change that. And then we also have an option here to change the offset, the height of your view camera from the current level, which is level 2. The first thing that we are going to do, like what is view being said here on our status bar, it says click to place the eye position at the cursor location. So we are going to place first the high position. So what I'm going to do is, let's say I'm going to create a camera from here, just this portion here. I'm going to click here that we are going to be the eye position, and after that the view target. So click to place the view target at the cursor location. I'm going to pick somewhere here to take that one, and I will be able to create my camera view. As you can see, it's now show it's now inside the building. If you go here on the bus control bar, you can modify it. You can change here the detail level. If you still remember our last topic, when the detail level is set to view, if that is set to fine, nothing will change. When it comes to our pipe and duct, but once I change this, for example, to medium, our pipeline, for example, this one, there is a pipe there. I'm just going to zoom in so you can see it's logging. I'm just going to zoom in. That's a pipe. If I'm going to change the detail level to medium, it will become a single line. If we are going to change the detail level to coarse, the pipe as well as the duct will becomes single line. So you can also use your control part here. Let me just change it back to find. You can also change here the visual style. Let's say I want to make it shadow view. So that's the shadow view. So it's inside. One thing that you can do here, inside the camera view, you can still select the boundary here, and you can adjust that. If you want, you will be adjusting the camera here and angle of the camera. Take a note that once you created a perspective view or a camera view, you will be able to see that here as well on our project browser. If you see here, the name of our view is 3D view, and the discipline is under mechanical, and the subdiscipline is under HVAC. So I'm just going to expand mechanical HVAC 3D views. Just expand that. That's your camera view. So best practice, it will be better if you are going to rename that. Maybe you can put here hallway, for example. This is my hallway perspective. Hallway perspective. So that is best practice. Always put a name on the camera that you are creating based on the definition. In our perspective view, objects that are far from the camera, like for example, this lighting fixtures here, or this lighting fixture scans light. It appears smaller than objects of similar size that are closer to the camera. This is another light fixture. This one is bigger than that element. That's the perspective view. Objects that are far from the camera appears smaller than objects of similar size that are closer to the camera. It's like an eye. When you look in a road or on a road, you can see that all those elements that is far appear smaller than the elements that are similar size, that is close to you. Basically, that is your perspective view. Another thing that you can do here is you can use your navigation wheel here. You have the navigation bar. Just in case you close your navigation bar accidentally and you want to put it again or turn it on again, You just need to go to View, User Interface, and you can see there your navigation bar. You can click that and you can click here the full navigation wheel. This is now my navigation wheel from here. I can orbit the view from here. I can orbit the view. As you can see, I can orbit in the different angle, and you can also walk. There is a walk. All the walk you can walk. You can see how the building looks like. It takes a lot of practice for you to be able to master the walk tool, because sometimes user tends to forward it and it really makes the viewing fast. It moves the view quickly. When you suddenly forward your mouse, it takes a lot of practice. You can use the move, I mean the walk tool, and also you can look. It's like you are standing inside and looking around, looking for clashes, looking for some discrepancy. So that's your look. And also you can center your view. Like for example, you want to center somewhere here, you can move your steering wheel here and you can click center. Then it will become center. And you can also move up and down. You can go to different level. It can move up and down. That's the use of our navigation wheel. You can plan your driving just like that, and you can zoom in and zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. So this is our perspective. Let's go back to our level 2 HVAC plan. This time around, we are going to create our orthographic view. Orthographic view, it displays the 3D view of an object from an eye or camera position such that each position in the view is perpendicular to the viewing plane. So, what is orthographic view? This one is our perspective view. The orthographic view is just this one. You open your 3D view, you click that, and there you go. This is now a orthographic view. Let me just close this one. Do not crop the view and this one. This is your orthographic view. This view is our orthographic. As you can see in our orthographic view, on our orthographic view, objects that are far from the camera, for example, this object here, are the same size as the objects of similar size that are closer to the camera. So they are just the same size. It's different from the perspective orthographic view. This is how it looks like. Objects that are far from the camera are the same size as objects of similar size that are closer to the camera. That's our orthographic view. As you can see a while ago, there is another option here for our camera, wherein you can create a view that is non-perspective. It looks like something like an elevation view, orthographic or elevation view. So I can uncheck this one. Let's say I'm going to pick from here first point, and you can also specify the scroll here. If perspective view is unchecked, I'm going to click. There you go. This is how it looks like. There is your camera view, perspective. This is in 3D as well. Because there is a view cube, you can still orbit your model like that. That is what we can do on our 3D view. When our 3D view, you can also use your section box aside from creating your perspective view. and orthographic view. You can also use your section box. Adjust your 3D to view your model. I'm going to check here the section box. I'm going to check that one and just zoom out. You can see now here section box. The idea here is you can use your view cube to go to different sides of your building, and you can click the section box and you can adjust that. So let's say you want to see this view like this, you want to crop your model just like that. Let's say I go to the top view, I can adjust that, just adjust that, go here, go there. You can also adjust from here. There you go. Maybe what I can do is I can just drag this little. I can see the model here. You can use your section box. Again, it would be better if you save the view. You just need to save the view for this one to view your model is. Aside from naming it, by the way, if you are going to rename this one, let's say this is your orthographic view or orthographic view using your section box. If you want to create another orthographic view 3D, you just need to click again the default 3D view. It will create another view. See, it creates another view. Another way to create 3D view, aside from using your camera, aside from using your section box, is you can use your section box selection box. Selection box is like you just need to select the object, that's it. Like for example, view with this in 3D view, only this or some of the elements, including, let's say for example, this duct here, I'm going to hold the control to select it all as well. Then after that, you can see here there is a view panel. There is your selection box. It isolates selected elements in the current view or the default 3D view. So I'm going to select this one just like that. As you can see, it will isolate that elements. It is more faster. If you are going to use the selection box again, you can save the view for that one. Just rename this and you can save the view. For example, this is your view, what mechanical equipment, and you can create another view here. And lastly, like what we did, save or rename the default 3D view to retain the camera position changes, because if you are not going to do this, your work could be lost when you close the file. So creating name, photographic views or perspective views is a quick method to provide multiple views for a design review. That's our topic for creating and modifying our 3D view. We use our camera, we use our section box, we use our selection box, and we can also use our view control bar as well as our navigation wheel. Let's say, for example, I go to the front view and I will just select the some elements here. For example, that one, and I want that to isolate using the selection box. I just click that one and there you go. It is so fast. All you have to do is to select the objects or the elements and you can use your selection box. Just don't forget to rename the view. that you will be able to save it. That is one of the best practice. That you need to remember some tips in creating and modifying the 3D view. For using a camera, make sure you practice your camera for enough more enough from the building model when placing a camera for a perspective view, that the field of view lines are shown. What you want to see in the view, placing the camera too close to the model creates several angles that may be unrealistic or may not reveal the perspective view. If you place the camera further away, it will be easier to adjust the view. There you go. There is our orthographic view, our perspective view, and we also have the cutaway 3D model using our selection box, and we also have this using our selection box as well. That is our HVAC layout, just like what we did carefully, that you are aware of the level you are working on, because initially the level determines the height of the camera. By doing this, this reduces the chance of unexpected results in that made a view. You can change the camera level, and another thing again, you can use your view control bar here after you create your camera to edit the display properties of our 3D view. Alright, so hopefully you have learned something from this video. If you have any comments, any questions or suggestions, you can put it in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. This is it for today's tutorial. Please support and subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.